Hare Krishna, folks. Today we are in for a very special retreat. His Grace Madhu Pandit Prabhu is here with us. He's the chairman and mentor of Global Hare Krishna Movement, president of ISKCON Bangalore, and the founder and the chairman of the Akshaya Patra Foundation, which has fed millions of children across India. Yes, that's a real life impact, making sure no child goes hungry, fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's heartfelt desire. An IIT Bombay alumnus, he has spent over 40 years serving society, building temples, cultural hubs, and heritage projects like the incredible Vrindavan Chandroday Mandir, and inspiring young people to live life with purpose, devotion, and seva. One of his most extraordinary feats is his dedicated fight over 2.5 decades to establish Srila Prabhupada as a sole Diksha Guru of ISKCON, preserving the spiritual integrity of our movement for generations to come. He has also awakened Krishna consciousness in countless hearts through his soulful japa modules and Ekadashi japa retreats, guiding devotees into deeper personal practice and devotion. He's not just about big projects, he's about touching lives, guiding youth, and sharing wisdom that helps us grow spiritually and serve the world. His work has earned him Padma Shri, Gandhi Peace Prize, and many more awards. But he remains humble, approachable, and full of grace. And guess what? Today he's here to answer your questions about life, devotion, seva, and culture, and how you, Gen Z devotees, can make the real difference. So let's give him a big, warm welcome with Dandavats Pranam and a big Hare Krishna and open hearts. Hare Krishna Prabhu, welcome.
Everyone. So, can you post the question? How to fully surrender or develop faith on His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada or Krishna's every word. Harish from HKM Mumbai. Most important thing for anything is to have knowledge about the why of things. Why I should surrender, why I should have faith. Why means knowledge. Unless you know Krishna and what is the why I should surrender to Krishna, you cannot fully surrender to Him. Similarly, your question is how to develop faith in Prabhupada and Krishna's every word. First, you have to understand, learn from sources of knowledge as to why you should have faith in Prabhupada and why you should have in Krishna's words. Right? So, anything first is to develop conviction. If you want to successfully surrender to Krishna, you have to develop conviction about why I should surrender. What are the benefits of surrender? Why I should develop faith in Prabhupada and Krishna? So you have not sufficient, you have to first work on these things. For that you have to read Prabhupada's books. When you read Prabhupada's books, you will know the truth of why should I have faith in Prabhupada and Krishna? For your own benefit. Nobody is going to do anything if it is going to give him pain, right? If it is going to give him pleasure and happiness, or clear confusion in him, then only he will be attracted towards it. So therefore, first you should study Prabhupada's books and feel within yourself the conviction. Conviction is a feeling. What is that? This is true. I believe in it. I believe this is true. So when you are fully believing that surrendering to Prabhupada and Krishna is the best thing that can happen to you, and why it is the best thing that can happen to you, naturally you will surrender. If you do not have those conviction, that means the conviction is about intellect, intellectual conviction, the reasoning, the logic, the rationale. Unless you have that, it will not propel you towards action. So the first thing is, before you ask how to fully surrender, your first question is more important. Ask why you should develop faith in Prabhupada and Krishna's words. Plus, next you should ask the question and understand from the right sources of knowledge. What is fully surrendering? What is partially surrendering? What are the benefits of fully surrendering? How does it relate with me, the benefits of this process? Because right now in our mind, everything we do, if I have some benefit, isn't it? Doesn't matter. In bhakti also you begin like that. Everybody begins like that, benefit. But ultimately we don't do anything with Krishna or Krishna consciousness for the sake of benefits. We do for Krishna because we realize that we belong to him. Just like you like to serve your family just because they are your family, not because like family members will give you back something or anything. No, you take so much austerity sometimes. Why? Because there is a sense of belonging. So ultimately Krishna consciousness is about our sense of belonging to Krishna, eternal belonging. We always belong to him, we will belong to him. Me and Krishna cannot be separated. So that kind of when you read Prabhupada's books, you come to understand this, that I am part and parcel of Krishna. A part has to be surrendered with the Purna, the whole. Krishna is a total whole person. I am a tiny person. So like this, when knowledge develops, oh yeah, it's correct. Yes, I'll never be happy without fully surrendering. And why I should have faith in Prabhupada and Krishna? Yes, because I have seen that step 1, step 2, step 3, what they are saying, I am seeing the fruit of it, I am seeing the benefit of it, I am seeing the truth of it. Your faith increases. Then Krishna and Prabhupada, when you implement it, you get experience, Krishna conscious experience. Your Krishna conscious experience reinforces your faith and your determination to surrender. So, it is not a moment's decision surrendering. It is a question of developing deep conviction about the process of surrender, about why one should have faith, how does it benefit you, how it takes you from temporary life to eternal life. Not some mundane benefit at all, which automatically is there, but not just mundane benefit, material benefit. Ultimately, when you surrender to Krishna, Krishna doesn't see material and spiritual. He blesses the devotee with everything, material and spiritual, as he thinks is fit for my bhakti. Next question, please. How to read Srila Prabhupada's books effectively? You see, reading Prabhupada's book is no different from hearing him directly. Srila Prabhupada's books are, the content in it are transcendental. Transcendental means it is a energy, knowledge energy coming from the spiritual world. It is represented as a carbon, black and white printing. Just like electricity is flowing in a wire, it is represented by an electric wire, but electric wire is not electricity. Similarly, the black and white things in the book, they are not the transcendental knowledge. When you read that, then the transcendental knowledge descends into you. Therefore, I say that it is an energy, spiritual energy, Vidya Shakti, spiritual energy, Chitta Shakti. So, when you read, you are actually in touch with, you are reading something, you are touching something which is not there actually in the book. Book is what? Paper and carbon. But you are getting an experience. That means the best experience, best way to read Prabhupada's book is to always understand that Prabhupada is himself speaking through the books. You should learn how to hear Prabhupada speaking that. Just like if you get a letter from your father, you are in the hostel or you get a letter from the father. You read the letter. Continuously you are actually hearing your father speaking. Correct? Exactly in the same way, don't read book for the sake of some ritual. Our Supreme Father or spiritual Master or Vishwaguru is speaking to jivas. You hear them. And then after reading, you also have to reflect on the truth about it. Why it is so. From all past experience, everything, you conclude, yes, this is true. You know Prabhupada, whatever he says is true, but I am talking about you discovering, doing mananam. Mananam means thinking intellectually about how this is true. You know it is true, but how it is true. When you learn how and why it is true, you develop a deep belief in the matter that Srila Prabhupada is communicating. So, reading in the spirit that Prabhupada is talking to you, which is not imagination. If you take some mundane book, novel and you read, it looks like the author is talking, but actually author is not there, he is not talking. But in these books, Prabhupada is there, that is a Shakti of Prabhupada. You read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is right there, he is speaking. Prabhupada's purport is right there, he is speaking, because they have no limitation of time, space and substance. Where there is love, where there is reciprocation, where they are wanted, they appear there. So, they appear in every word of books of Prabhupada. Prabhupada appears. So, with this faith you should hear. My God, I am so fortunate. I am having a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada speaking to me. My God, all these purports are all Prabhupada is directly speaking to the future population. Anybody, Prabhupada says, anybody who reads my book are already initiated. That is the power. So, effectively, that is one. You have to do thinking about that, how it is true and all these things. Then you have to imagine yourself It's an exercise, dhyanam, to imagine yourself putting into practice what Srila Prabhupada is saying. And when you do that, you are getting ready to actually encounter in real life the situation that Prabhupada is talking about in his books, different situations. And you are inside, you are ready to, relate and engage with that situation. What is life? Whether karmi world or devotee world, what is life? It is about relating and engaging with everything outside you and with yourself. Just two things. My whole life is about how I relate with myself and how I relate with everything else, every person, every object, every situation, every activity, how I relate with it. Intellectually and emotionally, how I relate with that situation. So that you get from Prabhupada's books. What is a spiritual way I should perceive something, how I should relate with something. So then what happens when you apply? That is about applying. You have read it. You have developed some belief in the mind. Then you are desiring to encounter that situation, or you are hating some negative situation. And then when the situation, you are face to face with the situation, you respond to that situation as per your belief. And that is how finally when you are able to implement what is in his books, your reading faith, your reading absorption capacity will go on increasing. This is true, this is true, this is true. Oh, now this also will be true. Then finally you believe everything that Prabhupada says, he has no defects, what he says is perfect. So this is a way to, don't rush, don't do like a ritual, 1 hour every day I have to read. Those are all secondary controls, time control and all. When you read, you hear from Prabhupada. Okay, next question. Before that, again, the last question, I want to say that you will not, for you to effectively read, you should also effectively have curiosity, have questions generated in your mind. The questions, generating question in your intellect is like doing exercise with our body in order to increase our appetite to eat more food, proper food, more food and digest. Appetite to eat and digest. That's coming from exercise. So in order to read, assimilate what Prabhupada said very effectively like a sponge, you have to do some preparatory work of, or even while reading, questions, a curiosity, ask questions and seek answers from Prabhupada. If you have no question, it's like no hunger. A person who has no hunger, if he eats, there is no digestion. If he has hunger and he eats, he has got good digestion, appetite and digestion. So in the same way, we should, whatever we read from Prabhupada's books, for instance, it's very nice to increase the effectiveness of your reading by going to Srila Prabhupada's folio, and then let's say you type Paramatma, so many hits come. So you go on reading different perspectives, who is Paramatma, what is his function, where is he, what is he, everything you will hear. and Guru Sadhu Shastra, it is all truth. So you are developing deep belief in Paramatma. And that made sense only because he questioned. You have to ask questions and then answers will be found. So don't be lazy, you are in spiritual life. Nobody says you should not ask question. Asking question is not speculation. Speculation is when you don't believe the conclusion and you are thinking, you are trying to find with your rational whether this is true or not. As far as devotee is concerned, he has got Shraddha. As soon as he knows the source is Prabhupada, yes, I believe it. Only now I had to use my intellect to tell myself the reasons for the belief, the true reasons for the belief. I believe it. But when I have the true reasons behind that, my belief becomes 10 times stronger. So, that is also very important. Please, atato brahma jijnasa, always be inquisitive. Next level, next level, next level, like that. After 50 years, even now every day I ask questions. Minute questions. And I get answers from Prabhupada's books. Universal source of knowledge of all these things. How the body works, how the mind works, how the intelligence works, how the false ego works, what the soul does, what the super soul is, what is this material world, everything. Over the years, we ask question, you ask question, you ask questions, you get answers from Prabhupada's books. Gross and subtle things become very, very clear. Who is Maya? What is Maya? What is Krishna consciousness? Yeah, next question. Prabhu, is there any difference between jealousy and enviousness as terminology? As terminology, there is no difference. Both seem as they come due to bad endeavors. Why due to bad endeavors? Not bad endeavors. This jealousy and enviousness comes due to comparison with others. How to take and think about bad endeavors. I mean, I don't understand your question. Bad endeavors. Both seem as they come due to bad endeavors. No, jealousy and enviousness comes to comparison, competition, criticism. Next question. Why Srila Prabhupada declared him as the last guru, and why do ISKCON oppose it and form their own gurus? All these are dangerous statements which we never make. Why Srila Prabhupada declared himself as a last guru? Prabhupada never declared himself as a last guru. He says all my disciples should become guru. This is a question is about Diksha Guru in ISKCON, not about guru. These are all not as per Siddhanta to say that somebody is a last guru. Where is there such a teaching that Prabhupada is the last guru? Prabhupada is the Diksha Guru in ISKCON, in his institution, as per his declaration that he will be the Guru, Diksha Guru. Why do you add last or first or anything? Prabhupada founded an ISKCON movement and he said, I will continue to remain the Guru in ISKCON. Doesn't mean he did not say that there will be so many Siksha Gurus. Guru is anyone who, there are Diksha Guru and there is Siksha Guru. I mean, if Prabhupada is the only Guru and there is no Siksha Gurus in ISKCON, it is Apasampradaya. So people put questions like this also, you should say, no, this is not our belief, this is not what we are saying. He is a last Guru. In fact, the opposite side take advantage of it. Hey, what is this Guru Parampara? He is a last Guru. In an institution he founded, he can give any instruction and go, no? He told in 1975, he told, I want my GBCs to be the Siksha Gurus. I will be their Diksha Guru. So they are making themselves Diksha Guru. That is what we are opposing. We are not opposing them to be Siksha Gurus. Siksha Guru does not mean that he puts a chapa on the disciple. You are my disciple, I will take you back to Godhead. I am responsible for you. No. Siksha Guru gives one class and he goes. Diksha Guru is one who is the invisible relationship between Guru and Krishna and disciple is happening, where the Guru promises that to the disciple that I will take you back to Krishna. That is the difference between Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. Siksha Guru's, the very definition, his role is not that I will take you back to Godhead. There is no relationship. Diksha and Siksha are two kinds of relationship of Guru. There is Diksha Guru and there is Siksha Guru. Diksha Guru's responsibility is very high. Diksha Guru has to be a Uttamadhikari. Diksha Guru has to be a liberated person. These are teachings of Prabhupada, the teachings of our Goswamis. Diksha Guru has to be a pure devotee, free from all contamination, three modes of material nature, is fully established in serving Krishna, zero sense gratification, zero independent thinking, completely surrendered, not half surrendered, 80% surrendered, 90% surrendered. That is a qualification of Diksha Guru. But Siksha Guru is not like that. Somebody who is in 6th standard teaches somebody who is in 5th standard, he is also a teacher. Somebody who is in 2nd standard will teach somebody in the 1st standard, he is also a teacher. So Siksha Guru means teacher. Diksha Guru means teacher plus responsibility to take you back to Godhead. And Diksha Guru is your topmost Siksha Guru. So this is what Prabhupada wanted in ISKCON, that Prabhupada will be the Diksha and Siksha Guru for all population that comes and surrenders in the ISKCON institution. I am saying ISKCON institution. And then all others can assist Srila Prabhupada as Siksha Guru to help them connect more and more with Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. So the Siksha Gurus act as Sadhu Sangha for those who surrender their Atma, their soul, to Diksha Guru. So we should be very careful. These are all the statements used by the opposite side, so that people feel it's unusual. Correct. How can it happen? Last Guru. The layman's language, last Guru. Prabhupada never said last Guru or first Guru. He founded an institution, ISKCON, and he is a final authority in that. And he said that, I will continue to be the Diksha Guru. All of you be Siksha Gurus. And Diksha Guru does not need any kind of a physical involvement. Diksha Guru is working in the heart of the disciple. Like Prabhupada initiated thousands of disciples. Maybe 10% of them even got to talk one line with Prabhupada. But the principle of Diksha Guru was operating on all those who got initiated by him, and their lives were transforming. So, Diksha Guru does not need physical presence to execute the function of transmitting Divya Jnana, the transcendental knowledge that is coming in Guru Parampara from his heart to his disciples' heart. Even today, Prabhupada is inspiring millions of people who read his books with Krishna consciousness. This itself is evidence that Diksha Guru does not have to be living in flesh and blood. He is beyond that. So, that is a clarification I want to give to your question, that is the last Guru and all the kind of things. So many, and I mean, ISKCON is one branch of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tree. There Prabhupada is the last name. Prabhupada is the Guru till the institution exists. They say for next 10,000 years, because Prabhupada talked about how his movement will last thousands of years. Therefore, we are saying, but who knows what is the end date of ISKCON? Everything has a start, everything has a finish in this world. Thousands of years, yes, but that is nothing again compared, it is not eternal. Just like when Krishna came 5,000 years back, he told Arjuna, I explained this knowledge to Vivaswan, sun god first, and later on it was transmitted and gradually it became polluted, and therefore now I am reviving this knowledge. So, what Krishna himself taught, it gets diluted in the nature of the material world. But Prabhupada said this movement in Kali Yuga, because of the Sankirtana power of the holy name, it will last. As long as Sankirtana happens, it will last. And we are seeing that. It not only lasting, it will thriving when there is Sankirtana, when there is chanting. When one is blessed by his Diksha Guru, when one gets enough, plenty of association from different Shiksha Gurus within the movement, whether it is a temple commander, whether it is a temple president, or whether it is like few months senior to you in the ashram, there is something that he will teach you. Be grateful, hear from him. Nothing unique, because he also did not know sometime and he heard it from somebody. Like simple things, I came to ISKCON, first time I learned how to wear a dhoti. Never worn dhoti before. How to wear tilak, I learned from any devotee, any old devotee. He saw me putting like this, no, he said, correct like this, correct thickness should be there, and then just pull once. I learned. Even now I remember the devotee who taught me how to put tilak. I remember the devotee who taught how to tie my dhoti. So, what we are opposing is disobedience of Prabhupada's wishes to remain as Diksha Guru in ISKCON. In ISKCON, yes, that the verdict is very clear. Nobody else can be Diksha Guru. That is different from saying that he is the last Guru. Arey, why you say he is the last Guru? He is the first and for last. At least why don't you say that? ISKCON. In ISKCON, he is the first and the last. If you frame the question like that, Prabhupada declared him as last Guru. That means, yes, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they were all not last, they were all going on. Now Prabhupada says, now I am the last. These are all nonsense, twisted kind of things that has been put by the opposite camp to make our proposition of July 9th letter appear ridiculous to some innocent people. That is not our argument at all. That is not what July 9th letter says. Next question. I am struggling to cope up with office culture, feeling stressed during working, and heart feels heavy. Why the heart feels heavy? Kindly help me with some suggestions. You see, nowadays, there are two things. One is physical stress, then there is a mental stress, then there is a time stress, then there is a result stress, workload stress, time stress, then there is a result stress, performance stress. Outside world, this is our bad karma, that we have to be under some boss, and then we have to go according to, especially nowadays, there is nothing wrong in the material world if somebody is the boss of somebody. But today it is not like that. Today the boss 90% of the bosses are ruthless. They want to extract out of you every little work that can be squeezed out of you, irrespective of what is your mental health, what is your physical health, what is your capacity. They do not care. I am paying you, I want this, because my customer wants this. I have to perform. So it is a chain of stress. Your boss is put pressure by his boss, his boss, his boss. Ultimately everything is, there is no sattvic way of working in this Kali Yuga, because there is a tough competition and you have to compete with everybody else. It is an unfortunate situation. My only suggestion to at least give some relief to this is nicely chant and hear 16 rounds every day. Automatically the way in which you handle the stress, Krishna will empower you with spiritual intelligence to handle your stress. Very often it is a habit. Unnecessarily we create anxiety. Sometimes there is real source for anxiety, but then we create unnecessary source of anxiety. So office culture, you are saying you are struggling and to cope up with office culture. At least you go on chanting 16 rounds nicely, maybe by good luck. There are sometimes, many times there are devotees who are very lucky. They go under a boss who is very free. He will say, yes, I trust you, you do your work. He gives you freedom, he gives you work from home, he gives you this thing, he understands your limitations. If you are sick, then he will, if you are stressed, he will counsel you and everything. There are people like that also in this world. So you chant the holy name of the Lord, that Lord will change your job or take you a situation where your stress is very less. And to de-stress yourself, it is extremely important that when you chant, you should not think. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hear the sound. There is no better stress management than every day doing 16 rounds, nice hearing rounds. If you do automatically, stress is managed. The mind itself, forget about the benefit for the spirit, the mind itself, by hearing systematically 16 rounds, it enters into another phase of transcendental sattvic silence. In the background of sattvic silence, you handle your pressures, you handle your pressures of time, work, everything, but behind it have a cool self, well settled, at the shelter of the holy name of the Lord, having full faith that He will guide you, He will shelter you as your master. So this has to be practiced. How at the time of every occasion of stress, chant 1 minute, 2 minutes to chant and hear what you chant. That is the best way to deal with stress. Stress is inevitable in life. Now by Krishna's mercy, stress situation can change. It will change also. But when it is there, it is there. You have to face it. Next question. Which is better in life, to remain satisfied or unsatisfied? If we stay satisfied, we feel peaceful, but may not progress much. If we stay unsatisfied, we remain progressing, we keep progressing, but lose inner happiness and feel anxiety. So how should one become balanced, satisfaction, and desire to progress for both material life and spiritual life? How should one balance? Satisfaction is about feeling, acknowledging what you have with gratitude for Krishna, because He is in control of everything, and I believe that everything in life I have is given by Him. Everything I don't have, He has decided not to give. Everything I lost is taken by Him. Therefore, I am peaceful. I am peaceful as far as the present is concerned. That does not mean that I do not strive to progress. The nature of the spirit is to progress. Of course, nowadays, unfortunately, progress is defined in different ways. Progressing in going more and more deep into Maya is considered also progress by modern world. We have our own understanding of what is progress. As you rightly say, if we lose our inner happiness and feel anxiety, then you are not progressing. Progressing means you are putting your effort, do your duty to do better and better what you are doing. And that's all. Whether externally that gives happiness or not, it's a different matter. I am satisfied, at the same time I am unsatisfied. Only satisfaction is bad. Only dissatisfaction is bad. So therefore, you pin down satisfaction with the reality of what is today. And you look forward in an unsatisfied way to do more and more devotion service. Whatever I am saying, you can apply for your karmi life also. It's a question of how you handle the mind, contentment and discontentment, comfort, discomfort, satisfaction, unsatisfied. We have to have a balance, and that balance has to be maintained by assessing the reality. Get up in the morning, you think about Krishna, what all wonderful things you have given me in my life. You have given me chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is satisfaction. You have given me wonderful association of devotees. You have given me temple life. You have given me Prabhupada's sadhana. You have given me Prabhupada's books. Feel satisfied. They say count the blessings. Count how wonderful blessings you got. What you have generally we just ignore. We take it for granted what we have. You have no sickness. Be satisfied with good health. We forget to be satisfied with good health. Only when we get sick we say, oh, how nice was good health. Instead, you have to learn how to be grateful to everything that is happening to you, has happened to you. Then look forward for wonderful things to happen in life, in spiritual consciousness, in service of Prabhupada, or in your progress of your own spiritual realization and spiritual life. So, answer to your question is learn how to balance satisfaction and dissatisfaction. Life should be having both. And I have told you how to feel satisfied in a realistic way, not simply psyching yourself. Hai to hai, nahi to nahi hai. Tomorrow something happens, some accident happens, my one limb is gone. I am satisfied with what I have. Now I got one limb, one hand left. Let me try to do, activate, try to do two hands work with one hand. Let me do. Be satisfied that you have got one hand, you didn't lose two hands. Mind needs to be satisfied. At the same time, mind needs to be looking forward for ever fresh, newer and newer things. So you have to keep our mind fed with these two things. And as far as devotee is concerned, he feeds the mind with satisfaction that Krishna is with him, Krishna's mercy is with him, Prabhupada's mercy is with him, he is protected, he is guided, he is loved by the Lord. These are satisfaction. And dissatisfaction is to such a wonderful Lord who is so kind to me, who is so much protecting me, saving me, providing me. I am such a rascal. How can I increase my gratitude to Prabhupada by fulfilling his mission to do good to so many other souls, like I have been done good, and because Prabhupada has done good to me, I am saved in this world. And Prabhupada has a mission to give this compassionate mission to save the world. Because every one of us are entitled for Satchidananda, transcendental happiness. In the material world, however, everyone is suffering between the dualities of material nature. So preaching means just pointing out to the living entity what is your potential. Your potential to be happy, your potential to be blissful, your potential to be powerful in service of Krishna, your potential to be a powerful preacher, your potential to realize truth and become free from illusions. So we all strive for that. I am not satisfied, I am unsatisfied till I reach that, till I reach that. Next question, please. So we close here now. Thank you all for patiently hearing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.